Good news, wrestling fans, because I have just been announced for moment of truth, and we are NABBA is the promotion federation with the most lineage and the most prestige outside of obviously the Olympia. Shred on the outside, dead on the inside. But today, that's all done. The hard work's over. We are 3 days out from the NABBA Britain Finals. I've prepped for what seems an eternity, or at least pretty much all of 2022 for this show. The last 2 weeks have been the hardest 2 weeks of any prep ever. And in this video, we're going to be documenting the process of carbing up from now until the show, what I've done in peak week, and over the next couple of videos, I'm going to be sharing footage from the show, how I carb up, what I eat. But first of all, I want you to guess down in the comments below what you think my body weight is. I'm a shoot 5'10" in height. So let me know what you think my body weight is down in the comments below. Then I'm going to talk you through what the carb depletions look like, what the carb loading is going to look like. We're going to jump into a full day of eating, carb loading, pre-show, and Shreddy is looking forward to this. So, moment of truth, and we are 196.4 pounds. And now what I want you to do is comment down below and tell me what you think I'll be weighing the morning of the show. So today's Thursday, I'm competing Saturday. We'll be carbing up Thursday, carbing up Friday. I'll weigh myself Saturday morning and we'll see what the weight is. So what I've got to do today, other than eating, other than filling myself back up, well, we've got one more workout to do this morning. It's the last full body depletion workout before we start eating. I then need to do shaving. I need to go and get me tan later. I'm going to talk you through the protocol of what I've been doing, sodium loading, water loading. I'll be cutting sodium out. So stay tuned for all of that. Now we're going to go and get breakfast, which isn't very exciting. We could not open the lid on the distilled water. So this is my water for the next couple of days because I'm going sodium loaded. I'll talk more about that later in the video. This is demineralized water, so there's no sodium or anything like that in it. Could not get the lid off because I'm a weak little bitch. So we've had to cut into that and we've got water everywhere now. So breakfast is going to be, because my protein is currently, have you ever heard of Rip-Off Britain? Well, my protein at the minute should be top of that list. I'm going to do a rant video on this, but the other week, my protein sent an email out, 45% off everything. I thought, jackpot, I'm running low on protein, going to get some isolate. Isolate is normally about 110 quid from my protein, RRP, before the discount. Going to my protein, £199.99 pennies for 5 kilogram of isolate. So with the discount, it worked out more than what it would normally cost RRP. So Shreddy didn't buy it out of principle, and instead I have bought some of this, supporting smaller local businesses. And this tastes delicious. So this is an isolate, and I'm going to have probably, let's say, 45 grams of powder, which is 40 grams of protein in this. And there's going to be no carbs, no fats, just this. Need another 5 grams. And this is going to just to finish off the carb depletion, because we'll be going to the gym in about an hour to get the last workout of the day. Now I say I'm cutting sodium out now. The only last little bit I'll be having is a pre-workout just to get me through this morning's workout. And again, I've got the Dorian, a new pre-workout, a Dorian Guts pre-workout. I want to start doing video reviews of some of the supplements, some of the different supplements I'm using on the channel. So I'm going to be having this now, 40 grams of protein. Then we're going to start doing my shaving, and then I'll see you all in the gym. So we just got done with shaving. I'm now dressed for the gym. So just mixing up first lot of carbs for the day, which is going to be cyclic dextrin, 100 grams of carbs there. I'll be having that as soon as I've trained. Alice has got the George on, and she's cooking me some chicken. So I'm going to go and do a full body, just pumping workout. Last workout before the show. Distilled water now, not drinking tap water. I'm going to mix the pre-workout up. I'll measure in water today, so between 5 and 6 litres. So by the time I've trained, I'll have had a litre, well, the breakfast, which was the shake, the maltodextrin, the cyclic dextrin, and the pre-workout, that'll be a litre of water. I'll have a litre when I'm training, so I'll be on 2 litres for the day. Get back, and then we'll start eating, and I'll run through the diet and everything else. Any questions as we go through this video? Drop them down in the comments below, and I'll see you at the gym. So today it's Thursday. It is the Jubilee gimmick, which I don't really know too much about. I used to get most, because I don't have a TV license, I used to get most of my news from the office. But Shreddy quit his shoot job and no longer works at his former shoot job. He's off trying to do his own thing now. A couple of reasons, which I won't go into. But one, mental health was one of the big ones. Now, I'm not really a mental health sufferer, but my job was causing me a little bit like, woof. And I'm now so much happier. So I don't know too much about this Jubilee gimmick, but what I do know, Shreddy is a lot happier. And Shreddy is about to drive to the gym in the sun. And when the sun's out, the guns come out. So let's get to the gun show. So, last workout is done. Done, diddly done on... This ain't fun. It is fun. It is fun. Bodybuilding is good. It is fun. So, what's next on the agenda? Workout is done. Just got 100 grams of food into me. No, not 100 grams of food. 100 grams of carbs into me from cyclic dextrin in me water. So, even when carb loading, I'm still sticking to those microwave races. It's what I've had all the way through prep. It's what I always eat. So I'm going to stick with it. Because if it ain't broke, don't fuck with it. So, Shreddy's just woke up. And Shreddy is back in the kitchen. So I've got some baby rice on the go. I've put some My Protein flavour drops in, banana. Half a pack of baby rice with the water. I shouldn't have even put in the microwave. Just kind of went on autopilot. So I'm going to eat this now. Another 40 gram, just over 40 gram of carbs. And I feel tired, but I feel hungry, so I'm going to eat. So I'm watching some random old school SmackDown game video. But good news for Shreddy. Good news, wrestling fans, because I have just been announced for ICW. ICW is one of the shows, one of the few remaining shows in BritWres that I aspire to be on. There's a couple that I would like to be on and a couple that I aspire to be on. ICW is like up there at the top of them, and I've been wanting to get an ICW for a long time. I've been trying to get an ICW. I've been working hard to try and get onto more shows for a long time. I've just been announced for ICW in October in Newcastle. So today, as well as Carbon Up, today is a very, very good day. Now, the reason I got into the gym originally, I didn't grow up as a kid wanting to be a bodybuilder. I grew up as a kid wanting to be a wrestler. And as a teenager, I wanted to look like a wrestler, which is what got me into the gym. When I started lifting weights, you go on Google, you research what you need to eat, what you need to do in the gym to work out, put muscle on, get in shape. I stumbled across bodybuilding, and I found Ronnie Coleman, I found Jay Cutler, I found Dorian Yates. Obviously, everybody knows Arnold, and I was like, fuck, these guys are freaks. I want to look like this. Genetically, it's just never going to happen. But I kind of fell into bodybuilding because of wrestling, and I never ever grew out of wrestling. When my mates in school, when we left primary school and went to secondary school, a lot of my mates kind of fell out of wrestling, stopped watching it. I never did. And the whole reason I started going to the gym is because of wrestling. Growing up, I was conditioned looking at guys like Triple H, The Rock. Now, The Rock back then, now he's jacked AF. Back then, The Rock wasn't a body guy, but he was a big jacked up guy. Triple H, Benoit, even Eddie Guerrero, if you go back and look at his physique, awesome physique. Obviously, Scott Steiner, Booker T. So many guys, Batista, Cena, so many guys back then. I just grew up in that era through the 90s, in the early mid-2000s as a kid and as a teenager, where loads of wrestlers were in shape. So that made me just want to look like a wrestler. I got into bodybuilding and then started competing as a bodybuilder. But I never grew out of wrestling. And to now be able to bodybuild and wrestle, it's almost like if I was signed, like my goal is to get signed by WWE, I would be living my dream. I'm not quite living my dream yet. I'm not a pro bodybuilder. I'm not a pro wrestler making a full-time income from wrestling. But that's kind of where I'm working towards. And if it doesn't work out for me, I know I'm not going to be a pro bodybuilder. That's fine. That's not my ambition. If I don't get signed by WWE, if I don't, make it as a wrestler, at least when I'm like 45, 50, I can look back and be like, you know what? I'd give it me all and I'd give it a try. And I did everything I possibly could to try and make that happen. So working through the ranks of, the indie shows and the BritWres shows to get an ICW is like a massive, massive success for me. It's a massive, goal accomplished. And I'm super looking forward to wrestling for ICW. It's on the network. So come October, November, I'll be able to say, as seen, Shreddy as seen on the WWE network. And we just came to Ultraflex. We're going to go through some posing. So, looking pretty brown. D-Lo brown. So let's get to it. Banana. And 3 race cakes. So Shreddy's done that thing that Shreddy normally does when he makes full day eating videos. And he's forgot to film a meal. So the last meal I had was a cream of rice, which I didn't film. So if it's not on video, it doesn't exist. But it's in my belly. So the next meal I will be having is a protein meal. I am currently sorting out music on the laptop to put onto a memory stick for the show on Saturday. Now, this is the thing with NABBA. I competed at FitX a couple of weeks, about 4 weeks ago. FitX is, or was, a much easier process. You just literally send your music as an attachment, you apply online, register online, it's all done. NABBA probably is the most prestigious, or the most... NABBA is the promotion federation with the most lineage, the most prestige outside of obviously the Olympia. But something needs to change, in my opinion, with NABBA. Something in terms of management needs modernising a little bit to get the appeal back, and even just to make the sign-up process easier. Yeah, I'll stop there before I go on a rant. So anyway, sorting music out, and then I'm probably going to sort some Pokemon cards out today. I've had a few people message me. I'm currently selling some of the PSA graded cards that I've got. If you want to know any more about the Pokemon stuff that I do, you can go and check the channel out. I've got loads of content on there. But I've had a couple of messages I need to go through, get photos, timestamps, send those off to people. So I'll be doing that very shortly. Now, if you're anything like Shreddy, and I don't mean 40-year-old version vibes with all the pops in the background, I mean bodybuilding, meal prep wise, you will never, or very rarely, eat from a plate. Even when I'm in the house, it's always got to be Tupperware. So Shreddy's enjoying himself some old school gaming. I'm not actually playing the game. It's not Triple H's theme tune or anything. But because I was distracted, I have forgot to film another meal. But what I can show you is the remnants of the meal, which was another half a baby rice with some My Protein flavour drops in there, some banana flavour, some banana flav drops, as they're called. And there's not much else going on today, so I don't know how exciting this is going to be, but I will be bringing more vlogs of the bulk I'll be commencing very shortly. And by very shortly, I mean today is the 2nd of June. Saturday the 4th of June is when I compete. Shreddy is going to be switching over to that Mike Mensah / Dorian Yates heavy duty style training, whatever you want to call it. On Monday, I'll be taking a rest day, probably after the show. So Sunday, probably have a rest day. And then Monday, we'll be back, slowly putting the calories up, and going to swap over to the heavy duty style of training to start growing again. Training on a prep, I like to stick to pretty much what I would normally do year round. However, once you're so deep into prep, for me at least, energy levels of just this prep, how do I say this? I have had to adjust my training massively just to get through workouts over the past couple of weeks. Prepping for the North Britain, which was 5 weeks ago now, was fine. Workouts were fine. I was able to maintain the usual split that I do, no problem. A week after the North Britain, still feeling fine. 2 weeks, started to go a little bit. And then after that, I have just absolutely crashed. I don't know if it's lack of food, which the reason I say I don't know if it's lack of food is because my calories have still been pretty decent. I did get norovirus and gastritis at the same time, which wiped me out. And then coming back from that, it's just been really hard since. So I have had to change my training style to more of a higher volume, lighter style of training, higher volume, higher reps, just to kind of get through the workouts. Normally, I would just maintain the usual workouts that I do all the way through a prep, just lowering the weight as you get to the last 2-3 weeks, but this time it's just been a no-go for me. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the heavy-duty style of training, and I will be documenting that weekly on a vlog weekly as I bulk up. This is going to be, well, before I have the last meal of the day, which is going to be a chicken and rice. I want to show you what I got the other day. It's the little post-show treat. Now in prep, you always, in the last few weeks of prep, always get cravings for things that you would never normally be bothered about having. I would never normally buy one of these, but I saw it. It was on offer from £5 to £2.99. And I do like it. So my cookie dough. So I got this. I got two. I got one for me, one for Alice, so we can make some cookie dough. It's a chocolate brownie skillet. So I don't know if it's actually cookie dough brownie, like brownie cookie dough. It's a brownie mix, but we're going to basically make it as cookie dough or brownie dough, whatever. I don't know. But that is for after the show. £2.99. It's a B&M special. It's bargain madness at its finest. So if I have that last meal, macros for the day, we're going to be finishing on about 215 protein. We'll be having just over 700 grams of carbs. If I stay up later, I'll have another 40 grams of carbs, so we'll probably go about 750. If not, we'll be on just over 700 grams, 710 grams or so. So it depends what time I go to bed. I've got a headache. I just took some paracetamol. I've got a bit of a tension headache, back in my head, running down to my neck. Not sure what that is. Tomorrow probably is going to be getting up early, purely because me sleep at the minute, I just keep waking up early. So I'm going to head and do some posing practice in the morning. Hopefully I get a good night's sleep. It's only one more day until the show. We've got Friday to get through. We'll assess the carbohydrate situation tomorrow. I'll see how I look in the morning after I've done some posing, see if we need to continue the carbing up process as is, if we need to pull them back a bit, or if we need to up them a little bit. But we've got plenty of time to assess. And right now, I'm going to have my meal.
The